business heroes, I want you to please give a resounding round of applause to our first speaker of the morning, the Executive Director of International Programs at the Jack Ma Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a wide, loud, great African welcome to Mr. Jason Cow.
As I was reflecting last night on our 8-year journey, just a really deep sense of appreciation and gratification. And I'll explain a little bit more. First, let me extend a warm welcome on behalf of the Jack Ma Foundation and Alibaba Philanthropies to the 6th ABH Summit. We are absolutely excited to be here in Kigali, ABH's home on the continent. Our office is here, our team is here, and standing on the same stage nearly 8 years ago is where Mr. Jack Ma first announced this initiative. Let me recognize our partners, RDB, our sponsors at the Bank of Kigali. We are deeply appreciative of their support and their open arms. So, this is the 6th edition of the ABH, and I'm proud to announce, in partnership with the RDB, that we will host our finale here in Kigali for the next 4 years through the 10th year of ABH. Let's get down to business. Entrepreneurs are a driving force for good, a creator of jobs and economic growth, and more importantly, a source of innovative solutions. To all the entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, supporters, your time is truly now. Our theme is AI. And no matter what business you're in, whether it's agriculture, fashion, AI will have the potential to transform your business. Over the last several decades, the global economy went from IT, taking paper, making it digital, to the internet economy that we all know today on your phones, social media. But knocking at our doorstep is the AI economy. As you'll see over the next 2 days, we've attempted to bring you some of that. You'll see and interact with our AI co-host, Abi. You'll also notice from our screens on our content on our screens, those were also developed by our team using AI. Here's an important point. The technology that's driving AI is produced in mainly 2 countries. My view is that Africa's opportunity is not racing to develop the technology. The opportunity is to take that technology, implement it, make it yours, and commercialize it. You don't realize how big of an opportunity that is. An example of how we use it. Again, our team recently used AI to design the screens that we'll be showing you today. Imagine the possibilities. Imagine the possibilities of an AI doctor. Endless. So I encourage you all over the next 2 days to think about it, to engage in it, and to see how you can apply it in your own context. That opportunity is right at our doorstep. We are really proud about our ABH heroes. Over the last 6 years, our top 10 collectively have raised $180 million. They now serve 40 million consumers. Many of them have doubled, tripled, quadrupled their revenues. And many of them have started to do business across Africa. This is really important. Now, let me talk about our women entrepreneurs. More than half of this year's top 10 are women. 40% of our applications this year are from women. we are inclusive. But we're not doing it because we feel like women should be at the top or men should be at the top. We let the best entrepreneur win, and the results are speaking for itself. So, to all of you aspiring entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs, women in ag and tech, we're open arms. And so, the final thing, I want to look ahead, and that is the next round of applications will be open soon. And we will come back at the end of this year to Kigali to host the 7th finale. See you soon. Thank you.
In the person of a true leader who is driving Rwanda's entrepreneurial ecosystem, the CIO of the Rwandan Development Board, please, with an ABH warm and wild welcome, please bring up to the stage Michelle Oguruki.
Morning, everybody. What an energy. It's really pretty hard to follow Anita, but I'll try. I'll give it my best. So, distinguished guests, esteemed judges, members of the Africa's Business Heroes community, and most importantly, our top 10 finalists. Welcome to the 6th edition of the Africa Business Heroes Summit and Grand Finale. I think you deserve a warm welcome. It really is a warm and grand privilege for me to be standing here today. In this vibrant room filled of energy, African energy, with Africa's boldest innovators, risk takers, and change makers, as ABH returns to Rwanda for what promises to be an inspiring and transformational event. And as Anita said, today is really more than just a gathering. It's a celebration of vision, a celebration of resilience, the relentless pursuit of solutions for Africa's challenges. And so let me turn now to our top 10 finalists. First, congratulations. You're not just entrepreneurs, and as Jason said, you've conquered 40 million consumers. Although that might seem like a tiny bit of the African tab, I know that that's no easy feat. That's no easy task. So you are trailblazers, you are innovators, you're change makers, and your boldness and creativity and resilience is truly shaping Africa's future. And no matter the outcome of this competition, to me, you've already won. Each of you represents, truly, the future of Africa. And let's be honest, I think after the conversations you've had with the different investors and conquering markets, hopefully today feels just like a coffee chat with the investors, with the judges. So all my very best wishes to you all. As we gather here today, I think we're reminded of Rwanda's unwavering commitment to entrepreneurship. This nation has proven that through bold leadership, innovative policies, and strategic investment, we can create an environment where businesses not only survive, but thrive. At RDB, and in Rwanda in general, we've established a world-class business ecosystem that prioritizes efficiency, innovation, and investment. This is through forward-thinking policies. The government tries day in, day out to remove barriers for startups and position Rwanda as a preferred destination for business in Africa. We've invested heavily in infrastructure, technology, and human capital, ensuring that entrepreneurs have the tools that they need. And this commitment, I believe, has made Rwanda not just a business hub, but a model for how visionary leadership can really unlock Africa's economic potential. This particular event, this particular journey with ABH is a partnership that truly is a shining example of what happens when vision meets action. ABH's mission is to empower entrepreneurs across the continent to tackle Africa's biggest challenges through innovation and business. RDB's mandate is to accelerate private sector growth, ensuring that Rwanda remains one of the most competitive business environments in Africa. So you see that this was a beautiful marriage. Together, we're building an ecosystem where, as I said, businesses are not just thriving, we're scaling, jobs are created, and industries are transformed. 8 years ago, as Jason said, ABH itself was inspired by an idea born here in Rwanda. When Mr. Jackman attended Youth Connect at this very venue, he saw the potential of African entrepreneurs and was inspired to launch a platform that would elevate and invest in the continent's brightest minds. I know today's theme is AI, and we simply cannot ignore what AI is doing in the different industries and in our day-to-day lives. But I want to remind us of something. There isn't anything artificial about Africa's intelligence. Nothing about it is artificial. And I say that to say that AI is only here to complement our intelligence. Our intelligence resonates, echoes in the halls of history, our African ingenuity. If you go way back in history, you will see that it all started on this continent. So I urge you to continue to innovate while keeping that in mind. Nothing about our intelligence is artificial. It only complements what technology. Technology only complements our intelligence. Since 8 years ago, when we had this beautiful encounter with Mr. Jackman, ABH and RDB have worked together to support and celebrate some of Rwanda's most exceptional entrepreneurs. I'll name a few. Christelle Kwizera, Water Access Rwanda, for solving water access challenges for rural communities. Kevin Kakirihundu, Missouri, KNY, who is revolutionizing sustainable fashion and job creation. Albert Munyamugingo, I'm sure everybody in this room has used or uses or is currently using who's redefining logistics and e-commerce in Rwanda. These are not just businesses. These are solutions to real challenges that we faced. They're creating jobs, they're transforming lives, and driving Africa forward. Today, we reaffirm this commitment. RDB and ABH will continue to work hand in hand to unlock opportunities to even more entrepreneurs across the continent. And I'm glad that Jason made the announcement. I was going to tease you a little bit and ask if you might know, where the next finale will happen, but we know that it is happening here in Rwanda for the next 4 years. So thank you for believing in Rwanda. We believe in you as well, and we'll continue to walk this journey together. The success of African entrepreneurship is not just an individual effort. It's very much about the right policies, strong partnership, and visionary leadership. And I keep coming back to this because this is truly what unlocks or unleashes the potential that we have within us. So we must continue, and this is mostly on us, government, RDB, to evolve our policies, remove barriers to funding, and ensure that African entrepreneurs, especially women and youth, I'm glad to hear that we have majority of them throughout this competition, have access to the tools they need to succeed. If Africa is to rise to the world's next economic powerhouse, we need dedicated spaces where entrepreneurs can connect, learn, and grow. And Rwanda is really proud to be at the center of this journey. My call to action to you is to continue to think boldly, collaborate fearlessly, and build relentlessly. As we embark on this transformative summit, this ball of energy that we've created in this room, I invite you all to continue to think beyond today. This is not just an event, and Anita started it by beautifully creating connections amongst ourselves. It's an opportunity to get to know each other, to understand the different markets we're operating. Oftentimes, these borders that are created stop us from thinking beyond our small markets or our own individual countries. But an event like this is an opportunity for us to get to know each other, for us to connect further, and scale our businesses with partners in different markets. So, Africa's time is not in the future. I think it is now, and it is being shaped by entrepreneurs like you. I thank you, and I welcome everybody who hasn't been in Rwanda before, who's here for the first time. You're very welcome. This is your home. And to the top finalists, all the very best.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
And you go to like Benin Kingdom. If you check and Google Benin Kingdom's history, you will find as far back as 1400 or something, Benin Kingdom had streets that were set with street lights, solutions, town grids and squares and everything that worked scientifically, geometrically, and you could understand that there was a lot of intelligence and thinking behind how it was sorted out. How did we fight our wars and won? Because we created war tools that were right and applicable within the time and the solution where we lived. Success is about context. It's about finding solutions for the context of the time and the season that you live. That's just one example among so many. When you check through ChatGPT, you all raised your hand. Use it. Use it to find your history. Find the earliest universities around the world. Find out about universities that were operating on the continent of Africa. So many, many, many decades of them. Centuries. Knowledge that was developed. How were the Egyptians able to keep mummies? How did they have the knowledge to preserve over time? We had solutions that cut across from anatomy to physiology to pathology to biochemistry to microbiology to immunology to pharmacology to surgery to endocrinology, all of which were relevant for the time and gave solutions that allow the world of the time to continue and be preserved. We need to remind ourselves of who we are and how our people survived. For a time and a season, we allowed ourselves to go to sleep. We followed the trend. We imbibed everything else that came from everywhere else. We took knowledge that was used to replace ours, and we let ours go to rest. But not anymore. Not again. Not anymore. We're in the time and the season in the last few decades where the great giant has come awake from its slumber. A lot of our people are using our minds and our talents and our gifts and our resources that we're abundantly blessed with. I think God He was very partial to this continent. He hid the secrets of the tools that the world will need for every generation on our continent. What we must do is find how we use it to show the world that we have the capacity to convert it for the good of the rest of the world. The world's population today is what? Whatever the number is, the youngest population of the world resides on this continent. What that tells you is the future world workforce, the future innovation and creativity of the world will come from here. If we don't prepare those minds, empower those minds, and allow them to think right, it will not be maximized. So the challenge is to you, the next generation, to apply the knowledge that you have, to apply the minds that you have, to look at the problems that you see around you and find solutions in context with who we are and where we are. But in solving the problems of our continent, create solutions that bring our solution to the rest of the world. Because there are many problems we see on our continent that we can find in multiple other continents. And so all the solutions that we can create are solutions that can be transferred across other parts of the world. And the hearts and the minds of young Africans, they're the playground of these solutions. As I sat as a judge of ABH for the last 5 years, it has been extremely satisfying. And it's been a reason where, no matter what I'm doing, it was really tough to be here this time, but it was important to be here. What you believe in, you give your time to. You find the time and the resources to be part of it. That's what being here this time was about. It's because really, I have seen the energy, the passion, the drive, the commitment, the innovation, the commitment to creativity, finding solutions to our problem that nobody else will know. Finding solutions in context. I have seen the fire in the eyes of the men and the women as they have sought to solve problems that impact their families and other families around the continent. And I've seen how this ABH project has inspired and helped them to bring home some of the value that they see. And I say to you, every capacity you need in context you have. Why? You lived through some of the problems you need to solve. No one can solve it except you live through it. I remember once working on a particular project with Total. And this young man had a solution that was meant to put out a gas cooker anytime the fire was off but the gas was on. Why would he be looking for a solution like that? He had grown up in a household where his mother never used gas for the fear of fire, because she had experienced a gas explosion in the past, and she always feared that that's something she didn't want to happen in her home. This boy went to school and studied metallurgical engineering, but he was driven by seeking to find a solution that would make his mother cook with gas rather than with the alternative. And in solving that problem for his own mother, he wanted to solve it for every other mother that had that fear and make that process. The things we innovate comes from the experiences we have lived. They come from the things we've seen. The heart and the journey that we have lived inspires and drives us to apply the knowledge that we have to create the solution. There's a lot of abundance of knowledge around the world right now. And like Jason said, we don't need to create artificial intelligence. That's already been created. But how do we use it? How do we apply it to the problems that we see at home? That in solving it, we don't only solve the problem for us on the continent of Africa. We solve it for many communities in Asia. We solve it for many communities in Latin America. We solve it for many communities even within Europe. There are many communities across the world that replicate some of the communities and the challenges that we have. And in doing that, we also create economic opportunities for our continent. We have the capacity to do this. We have the minds to do it. And my responsibility today is to tell you, you are enough. You are Mother Nature. You have the talent, you have the gift, you have the mind. We have the diligence, we have the grit, we have the resilience. We do not give up. That's how we're still here. We're fighters, we're from a generation of warriors. It's taken everything for us to continue to stand when you consider everything we've had to fight against. But if solutions are developed without our context, we will be lost within it. So I challenge you to be engaged in the process of applying the intelligence of our minds to solutions that will reveal our context. That designs are not made. Do you know what Abby's challenge is? Abby looks like you. Abby dresses like you. But Abby's voice is not like yours yet. No. But who is going to solve that? You. Make Abby speak like you. Find what you need to do with artificial intelligence to make Abby perfect in looking and speaking like an African. Don't wait for the American, the Chinese, the European to solve the problem that is all ours. I sit in many places that I realize the reason it's important to sit there is because when the conversations are going on, and they're raising an African view that brings everybody back to earth and tells them how what they say impacts the African and how to reshuffle the context of the conversation and the decisions, they will arrive at the wrong decision unintentionally. And therefore, you must create the solutions that considers our view and brings our view to the global stage. But in doing that, we will not make the mistake of the past. We will create, not just for us, but we will create for the rest of the world. We will create solutions from Africa that will solve the problem of the rest of the world. And with that, we can also draw economic value into our continent. When we buy solutions created by other continents, we're transferring resources outwards. When we create solutions that are bought by other continents, we're bringing resources home. And if there's a home that needs resources to come back, it's us. Can we do this? Yes, we can. Must we do this? Yes, we can. So go and bring back